Hello, Joel.
Hey, good morning. How's everything?
Everything's fine. You know, we're having such a good time here at the Black Blockchain Conference, and I'm so honored to have you here, just to chat with you, and maybe from your experience as a legal person, as a person involved in law and all stuff. One of the things that we are seeing today is the rise of ICOs, that is initial coin offerings that people are doing. You know, how are people that are doing what you are doing? Helping the people that are in the space of trying to raise funding through ICO, looking maybe at places or countries where the communities are still growing, where we don't have a community of lawyers or a community of advisors that can advise in terms of cryptocurrencies and stuff. What is it that you are doing to try and, reach out to communities such as that? Yeah.
So my name is Joel Braithwaite. I'm a lawyer in the ICO space, in blockchain in particular. So I'm from Trinidad and Tobago. So one of the things that I'm doing to spread not only Bitcoin and blockchain and cryptocurrencies and knowledge of these things to my country, I'm hosting a blockchain innovation and culture symposium in Trinidad and Tobago, March 6th to the 9th of 2019. That's immediately after Trinidad's Carnival, the greatest show on earth. For people who want to go to Carnival, they could go to Carnival. But after Carnival, I'm hosting a conference, pretty much like this, 150 people. It's one day. But one thing I'm going to do that's special at my conference, I'm in conversation with the Howard University Blockchain Lab, which gave a presentation this morning at the Black Blockchain Summit. And I want them to co-sponsor and create two blockchain labs in the Caribbean. We want to create one in Guyana and one in Trinidad and Tobago. So the purpose of my conference is actually to bring resources to launching two blockchain labs in the Caribbean. Now, the good news about me being an attorney, and a lot of this stuff right now is really pushing, it's not only pushing the bounds of currency and money, and changing, blurring the lines with respect to that. It's also blurring the lines with respect to law because there are no international laws that kind of govern ICOs and the like. But it's also pushing the need to understand how to operate across legal borders also, right? So one of the things I want to be able to do is to be able to provide advice to people, not necessarily legal advice, but some of it is more strategic advice about how to go about fundraising and developing their projects and getting their projects to that next level. So I want to work with founders, people who have visions, people who want to change the world. I'm specifically looking for people who want to do benefit corporations, B Corps and ICOs, B Corps that want to go to ICO. A B Corp is a for-profit charity. Right? Just because you're doing something, you're public good, you're doing something charitable, doesn't mean you need to be a nonprofit. So in these for-profit charities, I want to make sure that they're trying to really change the world, and I want to be someone that can really help them get their message out. And this whole idea of the B Corp, doing a B Corp ICO, these are the types of things that we can do internationally to think about efforts to, like Bitmari has done in Africa, where it's using microloans to lend to women farmers, right? So they could have a very targeted niche in terms of what it's looking to accomplish, and I'm looking to work with projects like that are trying to impact the world, and it's not just about blockchain. Do the farmers in Zimbabwe need blockchain? No, but through blockchain we can fund them, and then they could have the ability to bring their goods to the market and get a fair wage for it. So it's not just about the crypto side or the blockchain side. It's really about affecting human lives and making the world a better place.
Thank you very much. I'm learning something that I didn't know about, like the B Corp that you're talking about. I mean, like, it's first time for me to know that you can actually do charity that is for profit. I mean, like, I've never heard of it. I mean, that's the beauty about summits. You get to learn about new things, and I believe you have learned something out of this conference also. I want you to, like, maybe in short, tell me exactly what you took out of the summit. What is that you learned that really, will say that was the thing that I learned from this conference?
I have to say the most educational moment occurred yesterday when the Madam Ambassador had a conversation with us all. And one of the things she said, I tweeted about it, she talked about, can we throw it at the diaspora, get 10 million people throughout the diaspora to give 120 or the equivalent of 120 US dollars. We'll have $1.2 billion towards a fund or a bank that could go back and help Africa. And what I like about it, it has numerosity, meaning we need 10 million people. So you're not going to do it in 2 days. It needs to have a strategic plan. It needs to have a commitment. It needs to have strategic planning committees and everything like that to really emphasize the vision. But then it's low enough where it's $120, where it's accessible enough that for most people that attended this conference and conferences like this, there are 10,000 people probably in Miami at the Miami Bitcoin conference, right? And this is, again, it's not about blockchain. It's not about Bitcoin. It's not about cryptocurrencies, but it's about us using this technology to really improve people's lives. And that really sparked my mind in terms of thinking, okay, well, can we really do like an initial coin offering where we have a coin that's pegged at a value of 120 US, and so it's being sold for 120 US, so the equivalent of 120 US in cryptocurrency, and we want to receive 10 million such contributions to create a fund. Now, there are further questions that we don't know the answer to, like, well, what are we going to do with the fund? How is it going to be managed? What is the appropriate use cases for the fund? And we don't know the answer to these questions. But what she did was she sparked the idea, and now today I'm thinking about what she said yesterday. And she had it in the idea of creating a credit union. But with blockchain, and what we could do is actually go beyond that and say, well, we could raise this money digitally, and what can we use it for? $1.2 billion to use for the benefit of Africa is a beautiful thing. And what I love about it further, it's not a security, and it will never be a security, because nobody that puts the 120 in expects anything out. Yeah. And we're not going to give assurances that there's going to be necessarily anything that comes out of your 120. But it's the idea that you have given something, and again, in a B Corp type of format where we know that there's going to be accountability and transparency in what happened to the money and controlling people's, and we could even write this into the very foundational documents, that there are not going to be any contracts or anything else like that. We don't want to spend this money on contractors and other things that usually drain budgets, administrative overhead and things like that. We want to make sure that this money is actually doing good. So we have a huge gap between just the thought that she gave us yesterday and the tree that's eventually going to come from it. But she gave us the vision, and the vision is there and it's unshakable, and I don't know how, but that's something I definitely want to be a part of. How can we raise $120 from 10 million people across this planet for the benefit of Africa? And I believe that while this is the Black Blockchain Summit, that we have a lot of allies, as we have seen. Sinclair Skinner was able to bring together people across great backgrounds. And that sort of unity shows that it's more than just us who care about Africa. Yeah. It's more than us that love Black people, right? And so I see great hope in just that one thing that the ambassador said yesterday about, can we, wherever we are, we don't have we only have $1.2 billion today, but can we create the vision that will eventually raise that or even more money? Yeah. Again, I don't know what it's going to be used for, but I know that just the mere fact of doing it is something that's probably worthy of someone trying, even if they fail.
That is really beautiful of what the ambassador said, and I like the fact that he said Africa is not the skin color, but it is the spirit within. And I believe if all of us we can channel our spirits together, we will be able to do exactly what she said. We'll be able to raise those $120 and create billions and billions of dollars for improving the lives of the Africans. And thank you very much for this time. And I believe next time we'll be sitting here, we'll be chatting more about your work in the ICOs and all that, and we hope you will use your services in Africa also, because we definitely need people like you. And thank you so much, Joel.
All right, thank you again.
Yeah,